Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today we're going to be ranking all of the brand new LEGO Ninjago Season 14 minifigures that were revealed and will be releasing in March of 2021. I just did a video previously where I went over my overall thoughts on these sets, but now I wanted to specifically cover the minifigures because I feel like there's a lot that I have to say about these, and I thought that you guys might be curious as to what my ranking is, and I'm curious to hear yours as well, so be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Now for each minifigure, I will be letting you know what sets they're available in before I reveal the minifigure, and we'll be going from my least favorite to my favorite, and keep in mind this is all my personal opinion as well, so feel free to share yours down below. And I don't necessarily dislike any of these minifigures as well, keep that in mind. I honestly think it's a near perfect wave of minifigures for this season, so I'm really excited to cover all of them, and without further ado, let's get straight into it with the minifigure at number 10. Alright, so kicking it off here, the first minifigure is available in sets number 71745, Lloyd's Jungle Bike, and then available in set number 71748, the Catamaran Duel, and this minifigure here is the Rumble Keeper. So for this one, I honestly think it's a really good looking minifigure. I really love the torso printing here and the leg printing. I think it definitely stands out quite well, and I like the choice of having purple villains here. I know it might feel a little bit repetitive considering the previous season also had purple themed characters with the Geckles, but I feel like they weren't necessarily villains, even though in the sets they were portrayed in that way. I still think this looks very nice on this design for these villains, and I really love the face printing here as well. I love those big, like, almost like saber tooth like teeth. I really love the look of those, and the printing just looks so nicely detailed. I really do love the look of it. It's just mainly this one's at the bottom because there isn't anything especially unique about this figure, and you'll see later on there are some other villain designs that are just, in my opinion, a bit more superior. Then the next figure that we have here is from set number 71746, the Jungle Dragon, and this one that we have here is Polaric. Now, I apologize as well if I mispronounce any of the names of the villain characters, because of course, I haven't seen their debut yet in Season 14, so I might not know the correct pronunciation for all of them, but I think this character looks really great. I love the wackiness of this figure. I love that it has two heads on there. It kind of makes me think of like Bad Cop, except instead of having to just twist the head, you can see both of the personalities there at the same time, and I really do love the look of that. I like the little like mask as well, like right below the second head. I think that looks really nice, so that's not just two heads directly stacked on top of each other. There's a little thing separating them, and I like the coloring of that in the darker green. I also like the torso printing here as well, even though it is the same as the previous figure, the Rumble Keeper. They share the same torso and leg printing as well, but I really do love the face prints for both of this figure, and I think that it just overall looks really great and really wacky. Now the next minifigure that we have here is included in set number 71745, Lloyd's Jungle Bike, and this figure here is Nia, the island version of her, and I think that she honestly is a really great looking minifigure. I don't think that this minifigure is bad by any means. It's more so that I just feel like this one has the least new additions to it. Of course, Nia is using the same hairpiece that she has previously used, so there isn't like a new headband mold there, and we can't expect that for the next Legacy Wave when we get the golden version of Nia, because of course in the book, which I did do a video on, we received an illustration of her with a headband like around her forehead, so I'm kind of disappointed they didn't use that in this wave, but I still think it's a good enough hairpiece here. I still think it fits, of course, and I do like the color scheme of her outfit. I think the kind of like aqua blue meshes really well with the gray color scheme, and I just love the design of her outfit. I think it has some really great printing on it, and I really think it stands out very well, and I like that this minifigure is available in a fairly affordable set as well, being only $20, so I think it's a great deal also, so I'd say overall it's still a really great looking figure. The next minifigure that we have here is included in sets number 71746, the Jungle Dragon, and then set number 71748, the Catamaran Duel, and this one that we have here is Island Zane. Now for this one, I really do like the design of Zane, but I just think it's kind of a similar complaint to Nia, even though the Zane hairpiece is technically a newer one considering it was just introduced in the new Wave of Legacy for 2021, I still think that it doesn't have a headband, and even though I know it would be very difficult to work in a headband with Zane's hairstyle, it just doesn't really work as well. It still doesn't get rid of the fact though that it isn't really anything too brand new there, and I do like the torso and the leg printing here. It just feels a little bit more simple than the other ones. I kind of like the more complex designs, and even though I think this fits really well with the rest of the figures, it was more so just a matter of just trying my hardest to pick the ones that I prefer more. It was honestly very challenging to sort of rank this list because I think all of the suits for the ninja are just really fantastic for this season, but I just think that this one falls a little bit short, but it's still an absolutely great figure. Now the next minifigure that we have here in the ranking is included in sets number 71746, the Jungle Dragon, then 71747, the Guardian Village, and then 71748, the Catamaran Duel, the minifigure included in the most sets here, and that is the Thunder Keeper, and I honestly really love this figure. It's got to be one of my favorite villain, like, minion minifigures, because of course, this isn't really the main villain of the season, but I think it just has such a great design that it can honestly stand on its own and seems like a great minifigure to kind of army build with as well. I absolutely love the like tiki mask there. I think it has such great printing there. I just really love it. It's very vibrant and it stands out quite a bit, like from the torso printing and the coloring there. So I really do love that. Same torso print and leg print as the previous two minion villains, but I think that this one just stands out very well with that tiki mask there. I think that looks really great, and it just overall has a really amazing design. Alright, now the next minifigure that we have here is included in set number 71747, the Guardian Village, and this one that we have here is Island Cole, and I absolutely love this minifigure. Cole is one of my favorite ninjas, and I absolutely just love the design that they went with here. I think that it has a very nice, clean aesthetic to it, and I love Cole's color scheme as well. I'm very partial to that because I love the colors black and gray, hence why my minifigure that I use as my avatar uses primarily a gray color scheme. I just really love the look of that, and I think it really shines here with Cole. I absolutely love the highlights of the orange as well. I like how they changed that for his movie hairpiece that they're reusing here, and they changed the headband coloring there to the orange, which I can definitely really appreciate. It matches very well with Cole's outfit and his color scheme for the show, and I just think he looks really amazing. They definitely just knocked it out of the park here with this figure. It has a great design and some really well detailed printing. Then the next minifigure that we have here is included in set number 71747, the Guardian Village, and then 71748, the Catamaran Duel, and the one that we have here is Island J. Of course, the ninja that seems to be having the worst luck in this season by being captured and taken in both of the sets that he's included in, but I think that his design is fantastic. I really love the new hair mold that we have here for Jay with the headband combo there. I think it looks absolutely amazing, and I love that we received this. I was kind of wondering how they were going to integrate the headband into Jay's hairstyle, and I think they did a superb job with this. It just looks phenomenal. And then the printing on the torso, it's one of my favorite printing jobs for one of the ninja suits, like, of all time. I really love the amount of detail here, and I can see some people maybe possibly complaining about it being a little bit too overcrowded with the design, but I honestly really love the look of that. It kind of just makes it seem like Jay is prepared for any situation with just a bunch of things in his satchel and everything, so I really do love the look of that. I like the highlights of the yellow as well, and the dark blue mixed with the light blue looks really great as well, so I can definitely really appreciate that, and Jay just overall has an amazing design. The next minifigure that we have here in the ranking is included in sets number 71747, the Guardian Village, and then set 71748, the Catamaran Duel, and this one that we have here is Island Kai, and I think Kai looks fantastic in this season. I absolutely love the look of this minifigure, and I know that we previously have received this hair and headband combo in a legacy set, and in a fairly affordable one as well, with it being one of the cheaper ones, but I still absolutely love it here in this wave. I think it just looks phenomenal. It's definitely one of my favorite of the hair and headband combos for the ninja. I just really love the design of it, and I think that the torso printing just looks fantastic. I really do love the detail there, and I love the red mixing with the darker red color scheme as well. I think that just meshes together really well, especially with like the black hands that Kai has, and then the shoulder piece as well. I think it just all meshes together really well to make a very sleek and almost like camouflage sort of look. Not really, but like, you get what I mean, a darker color scheme, or at least hopefully you get what I mean. But nonetheless, I just think he looks amazing and has a really great design. Now the next minifigure that we have here in the ranking is included in sets number 71747, the Guardian Village, and then set 71748, the Catamaran Duel, and this one that we have here is Chief Mammotus, and I think that this figure is phenomenal. It's got to be one of my favorite main villain minifigures. I mean, Ninjago has really stepped it up with their main villain minifigure designs. I think they've all just been looking amazing with Unagami. You also had the Skull Sorcerer as well. They looked absolutely fantastic, and I think Chief Mammotus just continues that trend with an absolutely phenomenal design. Just going over the headpiece here, I think it just looks phenomenal. Such a cool new molding, and I really love the color scheme of it as well, with the teal and then the gold. I think it just meshes together very well and has some really nice printing also on the front there, on the little symbol that he has, and then on the torso and the leg printing. I think that just absolutely knocks it out of the park as well, with some really great details there, once again following that same sort of color scheme, which I really do love a lot. And then he's given a cape as well, which I can really appreciate. I like that. It only just makes the character look even cooler. And then the face printing as well looks really great, with a very menacing look to him, so I can definitely really appreciate that. And it's just overall a fantastic figure. I really love the whole designs of all of the villains from this wave, but of course I think Chief Mammotus just has the most detail and the coolest looking design. Alright, now we are at the number 1 spot here, and I'm sure if you've been keeping track, you can probably guess who this is going to be, and they're included in sets numbers 30539, Lloyd's quad bike right here. And for this one, it is actually a different kind of version of the minifigure, but not different enough to have a completely different spot. But you can see it's Lloyd without like the little half mask on there, but it's still technically the same figure, so I just included it here. And then they're included in set number 71745, Lloyd's Jungle Bike, and then in 71746, the Jungle Dragon, and of course the minifigure here, spoiler alert, is Island Lloyd. And I think Lloyd's design in this season is just amazing. Of course, this was like the first minifigure, I believe, that we saw leaked from this season. Of course, it makes sense because this seems to be a Lloyd-centered season, and I think his design just looks phenomenal. It's honestly so great. I really love how you can kind of just look at the torso and realize that, yeah, this is definitely Lloyd in a jungle setting, and I love that. It just really tells its own sort of story, and I really do love the color scheme there. And of course, Lloyd just works so well in a jungle sort of environment because of course his color scheme is green, so it just blends together really well, and this definitely gives off a very camouflage sort of look, so I really do love that. And I love the new face printing for Lloyd as well. I just think that looks so great with the little face paint on him. I think that looks absolutely amazing. His hair and headband combo as well just looks absolutely fantastic, and I just really love the lighter green with the darker green mixed in with a little bit of tannish yellow. I think that looks really amazing. A little bit of sand green as well. It's just such a highly detailed figure, and I'm so excited for this one. It's definitely gotta be my favorite minifigure for season 14. Alright, now that's going to conclude my ranking here for all of the upcoming LEGO Ninjago season 14 sets for March of 2021. There were a lot of great minifigures from this wave. I honestly think all of them were amazing. They're definitely all basically A's and above. I think that they are just absolutely fantastic figures with such highly detailed designs. I don't know if it's just because we're getting a smaller wave here, so LEGO could afford to put more detail into each of these figures, because 10 minifigures is honestly a pretty small amount, but I feel like they all really make it count, and there really isn't any that don't stand out here, and I think they're all just amazing. But now I'm curious to hear all of your thoughts and opinions and rankings as well for these figures. Be sure to let me know down below either your complete ranking or your favorite ones, your least favorites, just any of your thoughts as a whole, and let me know if you think I should have put a minifigure in a certain other spot. Let me tell you, it was definitely quite difficult to organize these, especially between the Ninja. They all just look so phenomenal, so it was definitely a hard ranking to do, but I really enjoyed doing it nonetheless. And thank you so much for checking out the video. I really do appreciate it. If you did enjoy, it would also be highly appreciated if you could leave a like. Also subscribe as well if you want to see my future content, and also if you want to check out my previous video where I did a kind of video of an overall thoughts on all of the LEGO Ninjago Season 14 sets, then you can check that out. It'll be linked at the end of this video. But thanks so much. I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.